And you have to deal with Oakley. Oh yeah, and then by the way, you have to deal with Mason over here. Which way you want to get it from, because both of those guys made sure that they put plenty of wood on you during the course of the game.
Anthony Mason was a scary looking dude. He was a nice guy, but man, I'm telling you, when he got he stared at you, it's like, man, he looked like he could like eat your head off.
He had like these crazy like designs and quotes and I don't know what, like barcodes and like messages to like, you know, other planets, you know, in his hair.
Oh, yes, indeed, it's fun time, fun time.
Here in New York with his high-octane games. One of the most beloved Knicks in franchise history.
So I'm in Maple Grove Cemetery in Queens, Kew Garden, Queens. This is the summit location of the cemetery, and I want to pay respects to a athlete that just transcended. He represented the New York Knicks in their glory days. You know, in the 90s there. Well, in the glory days when they had some relevancy and they were competing for championships and the whole nine. They have fallen on some bad luck. Some might say that luck is changing, but it shall be determined. But Anthony Mason, this guy was fierce, represented what defense is all about. The Mace Man. This dude was so cool. I remember there used to be and I want to say Bob's, because I think it was Bob's. Like it used to, probably not Bob's, probably some other name. But it was a store it was a clothing store, like a sports apparel type of store, right? And you know, I was there and for the opening, and Mace Man was there. I got his autograph. So damn cool. God, man, it was so cool. That was one of like those moments growing up as a kid. Like, wow, that guy was so cool. Down to earth, really just all about the fans. I believe his son played for St. John's as well, over here locally. I want to say Anthony Mason Jr., if I'm not mistaken. So you know, this guy was pretty. You could rely on him defensively. Like if you were going to form a team that's based on defense, this is your guy right here. Anthony Mason would be the first pick back in those days. He signed with the Knicks in the summer of '91. You know, under Pat Riley, that's really where he blossomed, right? He had that front court of Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Charles Smith. From 91 to 96, he played with the Knicks. 94, they reached the finals, first time since '73. But they lost in 7 games to the Rockets. So Mason won the Sixth Man of the Year award in 95. Led the league in minutes played in 95-96 with 34-57. Knicks team record. Traded from the Knicks. Go figure, the damn Knicks can get anything right. In 96, with Brad Lohaus to the Hornets. for Grandmama Larry Johnson, which, you know, don't get me wrong, Larry Johnson was a good player. If you remember him, you guys, from the commercials, the sneaker commercials, the Converse, the Grandmama sneakers. He was, you know, there. He played for, you know, that was Larry Johnson. But yeah, man, you didn't to get Larry Johnson. I mean, don't get me wrong, great Nick, but you could have. Couldn't you have given up someone else? Not Anthony Mason. But you know, he was a great player. He went on to you know, play with the Heat as well. You know, at one point with the Heat, was second in scoring, 16 points per game. Did play with the Bucks, 2001, 2002 season. Really, you know, his numbers started going down at that point. You know, in 2003 he retired, but he, you know, he did manage to stay around relevancy, remain relevant. Obviously, always as far as the Knicks go, he was involved in their media, their player performances, and you know, was on New York radio, sports talk radio, often. So the New York sports fan never really forgotten, you know, who Anthony Mason was. Just a great player, one of my favorite players, just growing up. So thought I'd pay respects to the man himself, Anthony Mason.